Um, okay, so what is this?
Okay, so we call that ardweirdo.
This is the Ardweirdo, a guitar that was the brainchild of a father and son duo of amateur guitar builders who had a weird idea and ran with it. I first encountered this guitar last year at Fretboard Summit in Chicago, Illinois, when Josh Scott hosted an event called the Science Fair, where members of the community got up and showed some of the products and ideas that they were developing. And Justin and Scott showed the Ardweirdo. And what started off as kind of a joke, something that was just a fun weekend project, has turned into what I think is one of the most unique guitars to ever exist. I don't know of anything else that is remotely close to this thing in terms of its capability and its sound. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the Ardweirdo, tell you why I think it's so cool and so unique. Please know I'm not keeping this guitar. This video is not sponsored in any way. This is very much so a prototype, and it's going back to Justin and Scott when I'm done filming this video. This channel is, however, supported by my video courses. If you click the link in the description box down below, you can get a special discount on Fretboard Fundamentals Ultimate. This is my flagship guitar course. It is basically everything you need to know and nothing you don't when it comes to music theory for guitar players. The course is designed to help you break out of ruts in your playing, get more creative, get better at improvising, and most importantly, understand what you're doing on the fretboard. So to find out more about what's included in the course and to get the special discount, click the link in the description box down below. And I greatly appreciate the support. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's hear the Ardweirdo.
You know Dimel guitars, right? So he and this guy Pascal have this thing called the Leslie, which essentially automates your pickup selector switch. And I read about that and I was super excited by the idea. Slowly started convincing the old man in his retirement to start building something for me. And this is the result. So we took that somewhat practical idea and took it to its absolutely impractical, illogical conclusion, which is what you see. Believe it or not, that's an all analog signal path. And essentially, it is the same kind of optical tremolo that you would find in a 60s Fender amp. So it flashes a light in front of an LDR to modulate the analog signal, but we have total digital control over that LED. It's all programmed in Arduino, hence the Ardweirdo name. A tremolo channel for each pickup, plus the neck and middle pickup have another channel that's been electrically inverted, so they're combined in and out of phase. So it's like you have 5 tremolo pedals on the table.
But it's not even like you have 5 tremolo pedals on, because to do the equivalent of this with pedals, you'd have to wire the output of each pickup to each individual tremolo pedal and then have a master controller controlling each one of those pedals while you're playing.
That's why it's in the guitar.
Right. That's wild.
Okay, so in case you didn't really follow what Justin was saying there, let me break it down for you. Now, you may notice this is a different guitar than what I'm holding in the Zoom call with Justin and Scott, and that's because the pink one, the first one they sent me, actually had some issues with it, and so they swapped it out for this one. Essentially, the two guitars function the same way. The main difference being this has a different pickup combination, but more importantly, this one is stereo, whereas the pink one I had earlier was in mono. So essentially, what they've got going on here is a combination of analog circuitry, i.e. the tremolo circuits, and a digital controller controlling all of those analog circuits. So if you see that board there with the flashing green lights, those are the optical tremolo circuits. So those green LEDs are lighting up to trigger the tremolo circuits on and off. And if you look on the front of the guitar here, you'll see LEDs above each pickup. And that's essentially telling you what's going on, what each pickup is doing. So on this particular model, when it's lit up a specific color like green, that means it's at a specific point in the waveform and the phase. This is actually a really useful tool because you can see what's going on. And then here on the top horn of the guitar, you have your controller. And so essentially what this lets you do is bank up and bank down to different presets, and you can see the waveforms changing. So you've got 3 different waveforms there, and that's representing what's happening on each pickup. And you can see whenever I switch presets, the LEDs are switching with it. Dude, look at this thing. This guitar's wild, man. So I'm gonna start with just preset 1 here, just the starter preset. And if you don't have headphones on, I highly recommend you put headphones on because that sound is coming from the guitar, but it's not a digital sound. There's no DSP happening here. It's not modeling a tremolo. That amplitude modulation is coming from the pickups themselves. This circuit in this guitar is modulating the amplitude and the phase and the panning of each one of the pickups in this guitar. So this particular setting is giving you this lush, like, rotary thing. And if you just heard that on its own, you might think, oh yeah, I got a pedal that can do that. But as we start to bank through these different presets here, things start to get a little weird. That's not something your average tremolo pedal can do. Listen to what's happening here. On the right side, we've got the bridge pickup, the bridge humbucker, giving you that really fast, choppy rate. On the left side, we've got the neck single coil giving you this sort of softer, smoother waveform. And then the middle single coil doing this like square wave kind of thing. That's wild. Dude, that is so cool.
So where are you guys at in the process? Like, is this a prototype phase, or?
I think of this as an art project. I don't think there's a mass market for this, but it is fun. You're holding the third one and the mongrel.
Yeah, this was the first. Can't we see?
Oh my God.
And then some of this stuff is just like we sit around joking about dumb shit that we could do, and he goes and does it.
After a few many beers on a Sunday night, they started, well, what can you just have it generate random sounds?
This is really cool. What you guys are doing is really cool. The guitar, the electric guitar, has slowly evolved over the last 70, 80 years, but in large part has stayed mostly the same. And you guys are doing something that, as far as I'm concerned, is completely new and hasn't really been done to this level before. And it's all kind of you two hanging out and just shooting the shit and coming up with dumb ideas and implementing them. And in the process, you're making really cool stuff. That's awesome, man.
We made a lot of deliberate choices, right? Not having the programming on the guitar, right? No one's going to buy this guitar or take this guitar on stage as their only guitar, right? I think we can all accept that it doesn't have to have a normal pickup selector. I think of this thing as a tool that's a tool for songwriting.
I actually really respect the lack of interest in turning this into a commercial product. To me, that adds some legitimacy to what you're doing, where it's just like, this is something that you guys are passionate about and you want to do an experiment with. I will push back, though, on the idea that you think this wouldn't be someone's primary instrument or used on stage. I actually think there are a lot of people that would find a lot of inspiration in a tool like this. Have you thought about making this like open source? Like a lot of the modular world, the modular synth world, they take their designs and make them open source. Is that something you've thought about?
I've got nothing invested in it. I mean, other than time, yeah. If somebody wants to take it and move it forward, if somebody asks me for a price, it's going to depend on how nice the person is when they ask.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of support hours. It's got to be somebody I'm willing to talk to.
I think, and the other thing is there's a lot of concepts here. It's also something we're not going to pursue any protection on.
Yeah.
As far as an idea. So we'll talk to anybody who wants to do it. The reality is this is not the smart way to do it, Brett. This whole like digital analog hybrid thing, it's a pain in the ass and it's hard. Doing this in DSP, like somebody clever would knock this out and make this great box that does all this stuff. They just haven't, because they're working with market pressures and all that stuff, and we don't care.
Yeah, he's got a day job, I got a pension. This is just fun for us.
Yeah, for the right people who understand that it's a lifetime warranty, but it's his lifetime. So it's
Now there's another cool function in here, which is if you start to bank down below preset 1, it just starts to generate random functions. So every time you hit the down switch, it just does something completely different. Trying to tune with this thing is not easy. So who is the Ardweirdo for? Well, first of all, I don't even think you can buy this. I don't think it's in production at the moment. I think this is still just in the sort of prototype phase. And it's got some things to refine. There's some ideas that I have that I think could improve the Ardweirdo. First of all, I'd like to be able to bypass the tremolo circuit altogether and have it go back to just being a guitar, because the guitar itself actually sounds pretty great on its own, but also the practical side of it is, being able to tune. Trying to use a tuner with this guitar and the modulation is actually pretty difficult. I also think you should be able to edit the different presets and save your own presets on the guitar itself. That way you can dial in different settings. You could maybe have a more in-depth like software editor. There is a USB-C jack on the back of the guitar here, but being able to just like edit stuff on the fly and having a tap tempo would be huge. Just right here, being able to tap in the tempo so that you can sync the tremolos with whatever groove or tempo that you're playing in would be huge. But here's the thing, Justin and Scott, obviously they know what they're doing. They're incredibly smart guys, but in this world, they're sort of amateurs. They're amateur guitar builders, circuit designers. Like they said, they don't really do anything in the analog world. I think there's a few companies that could reach out and help these guys sort of refine this idea a little bit. A company that really understands DSP and combining the digital world and the analog world. Looking at you, Chase Bliss. I think you should get in touch with these guys, because I think this idea is really cool, and I think there is a market for something like this. So I'll link their contact information in the description box down below. Like I said, I don't know that you can buy this thing or if they'll build it for you to order. You'll have to ask them. Overall, though, I love it. I love the whole Ardweirdo project, mainly because it's a father and son who are doing it just for the hell of it. So I'm going to box this up and send it back to the guys. I appreciate them letting me borrow it for a few months to kind of wrap my head around this idea. I've had a blast with it. But I want to know, in the comment section down below, I may post a poll or something down there. Do you think there's a market for this? Would you be interested in something like this for your guitar, or buying a guitar that had this sort of capability? I would. I think it's cool. If it were a little bit more refined, it had a few more features that make the livability better, I think I would actually buy something like this. So that's the ardweirdo. Huge thanks to Justin and Scott for loaning me this and the first model. Like I said, all the pertinent information is in the description box down below. While you're down there, don't forget, you can get a special discount on the Fretboard Fundamentals Ultimate course. That's what supports this channel, and I greatly appreciate it if you would go check out that or any of my other video courses that are available down below. And while you're down there, please subscribe. Really helps the channel out when you click that red button. My name is Rhett Shull. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.